That is a representation of the sound Jimmy probably heard all day today.
It was windy and cold, up in the air,
Oh, but they have you on a scaffold today?
off and on.
Oh, damn, man. I lucked out. I was going in and out. Man, I was in pneumonia mode. You know, I go into these people's apartments, and it's like apartments set to Africa, and then I walk out of the apartments, and then it's Antarctica.
God damn, it's like you're gonna go into shock.
No, it's not too bad, but as the sun as the sun gets higher and higher, it went from 20 degrees to 30. So
Yeah.
pretty good. I can't complain, man. Anybody who's out there in that shit, all day, some other people that I know, man, I can't complain. I'm trying not to, going in from 90 degrees, and then walking out of that apartment, and then I'm sitting there in a breezeway, trying not to, catch pneumonia.
God damn, in the fucking wind tunnel.
You know what's funny? I thought about this today. It was around 12 o'clock. It was still kind of cold, but this doesn't really have anything to do with this part of the conversation. But I went to a 7-Eleven. I got me a Coke. Just a 20-ounce Coke. And you went up to the guy, give him the Coke, got me a turkey sandwich with the Southwestern mayonnaise. He scans both of them. And you can see the things he scans. And he scans the Coke, and I can see that he's scanning. I can see, the receipt pop up on the thing. And the first thing he scans is my Coke. And you know what it comes up on the receipt? Coca-Cola Classic. I know what you're thinking. What's the big deal with that? I'll tell you what the big deal with that was. I was in Richmond, and it doesn't matter if you're in Richmond or if you're in Fredericksburg or if you're out in the fucking country. It came up as Coca-Cola Classic, $2.59. That's not the classic Coke I remember. The classic Coke I remember was like $1.59. What the hell's going on with that, man?
God damn.
Yeah, dude. Sodas are ridiculous. You know what? Oh man, you know what I'll do? I'll buy in bulk. I'll go get me like a 12-pack. $7.50 for a 12-pack. Do you remember what they used to be? I don't know either, because when I was buying them, I wasn't buying them. No, from $5.50 to $7.50. Yeah. I got to knock out that soda stuff though, man. Ugh. Jeez Louise.
I remember a time where it was 4 for $12.
Yeah, you know what, man? Some of the stores
For 12 packs.
Some of the stores still do those deals. But
I mean, I don't drink a lot of soda. That's why I remember back to that.
I am into that shit, man. Like, I never done heroin, but I think I could kick heroin quicker than I could kick fucking sodas, man. It's ridiculous. Which goes to tell you, if they had those lab tests, where they had a mouse and they had like just a bowl of water and a bowl like of Coke and a bowl of heroin, and like eventually the mice would leave the Coke and heroin bowls alone and just go to the bowls of water. Not us. Give me that sugar. Give me that caffeine.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the motherfuckers that shit on everybody for doing the drugs are addicted to fucking sugar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude. It's very funny to hear.
I'm so much better than you.
It's very funny to get a lecture from somebody. I
mean, I guess you don't pick it yourself when you're eating candy.
I don't go to meet somebody on fucking West.
Oh, Snickers.
Yeah. I don't go to meet some fucking stranger on West Broad Street for a goddamn Reese's cup. But it is kind of funny to see those people who are like,
yeah, man, I ain't sucking.
You got to get your shit together. And then they're just sitting there sucking down like 15 cups of coffee. I was like, what's the difference? Like, I don't do cocaine. But you got this person who's sitting there sucking down 20 cups of coffee a day. I was like, is this the only thing that keeps you going? Because,
dude, some people it's like that.
Dude, I'll drink a cup of coffee in the morning. And then, yeah. I'll roll with some, I guess I'll keep my caffeine high going with random sodas throughout the day. But it is very funny, man. I'm trying to knock out. I'm sorry.
No, continue.
No, it's just I'm trying to knock out smoking. Smoking cigarettes.
Oh, you're gonna get the sweet tooth even more then.
Oh yeah, man, dude. I've realized that I've been like maybe 3 days in. Like I'll have a cigarette in the morning. I have a couple of cigarettes, when I get home in the afternoon. But immediately within 3 days, it's amazing how quickly your senses heighten. I feel like Wolverine. I can smell somebody smoking a cigarette like 2 blocks down.
It's like, wait, where you going there, bub?
No, and the thing that gets me is it is funny because when it comes to stuff like that, especially with habits, is program compliance. Like when we were living at the house, out there on Spotswood Furnace, and we were smoking cigarettes down in the basement. Oh, man. Game's loading. Oh, man, this load bar, it's going to be like, I don't know, 15 seconds. So I better light up a cigarette. Oh, man, stuck in traffic. Oh, man, how long is this stoplight going to last? 25 seconds. Better light up a cigarette. And you don't notice it. As a smoker, you don't notice it because you just continue smoking when the light turns green and you go. But when you stop, you realize every single thing, like having a cigarette during a load screen for a video game. Oh, I'm sorry for the younger crowd out there who have load screens that go in a flash. It used to take a lot longer. Stoplights were pretty much the same, but anyways. Load screens on a video game, stoplight, traffic, going from job to job. I would do a 2-hour job, get in my truck, light up a cigarette. I would do a 15-minute job, light up a cigarette, even though I knew that I was going to another job within 3 minutes and I was going to be there for 15 minutes and I would smoke another cigarette.
That's something to do.
You know what? Ultimate time killer. In every sense of the word. But speaking of that, because I've been dealing with that for the past week or so, doing apartments, doing apartments, doing motels, just my normal job. Here's a funny story, kind of take us off of the whole program compliance for smoking. I'm going through, it's wintertime, so not so many people are visiting the motels. There's a particular motel I do, and for the most part, there are something like 30 units in this motel, and 10 of the 30 are what I would consider permanent residents. I do not know how they do it. It's $50 a day. Do 50 times, 28 to 30, 31 days a month, and then connect that to the rent you would have to pay in a house. How awful is that? When you can afford $50 a day in a motel, yeah, you're living in a 12 by 12 with a shitter and hopefully a stove, but most likely just a microwave and a mini fridge. Anyway,
you don't have to have credit.
Yeah. But I knock on this door, and the work that I do, I have a particular process. I knock, I count to 30. I knock, I count to 30. Did both of those things. The apartment management gives me a key. These people know I'm there. I'm there every month. These people have been living there for years. But I'm a mystery to them every month for a decade. I go, knock on the door, count to 30, knock on the door, count to 30. All right, nothing coming through. Put the key in the lock, go to open the door, hit that fucking deadbolt. Bam. I said I'm coming. You didn't say you were coming because your room is a 12 by 12. Your neighbor could hear if you said you were coming. You're not. This lady opens up the door. She cracks it, and all I can see is like her eye in between the door and the door frame. She's like, "Who are you?" Pest control, just like last month, and the month before that, and the month before that. Oh, man, I thought you was the po-po. Man, I don't do bad stuff, man. I'm not a bad person. But I'm not a good person either. Hey, I got somebody in the bathroom. Can you come back like in 5 minutes? I was like, you know what? I'll tell you what. I've got this whole other apartment complex to come to. I'll come back in 45 minutes. Guess what happens when I come back in 45 minutes? They're still not ready. Knock on the door. Oh, we're still not ready. Can you give us like 1 second? Yeah, of course. You know what? I'm gonna go sit in my truck. I got some paperwork to do. I go. I'm like walking over to my truck. What are you doing? I'm gonna go do some. No. We'll be out in 5 seconds. All right. They close the door in my face, and I'm sitting there, and I wait, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 60. I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm going to my truck and doing paperwork. Come back 5 minutes later, opens the door back up. Who are you? I'm the same person who was here 10 minutes ago. You're holding me up. I need to do some pest control. Lady opens up the door. You know what she did? First thing, completely forgets that I'm there to do pest control. She holds out her hand with like these chocolate malt, they could have been Whoppers, like, you know what Whoppers are, right?
The malt candy.
The malt candy. Yeah. It could have been Whoppers, could have been mushrooms, could have been fucking weed candy, meth candy. You want one of these? No. He don't want none of my candy. Insulted by it. And I was like, just let me get the fuck out of here. It's great. It's funny. I've had people come up to the door with big ass white rings around their noses. What the fuck you want? You know what? Nothing. Yeah. Just move on to the next place. It's crazy people. Now, that's out in the boonies. I was out in the city today. Relatively good. I love that shit. Knock on the door, and so I can hear people like doot, 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 doot. They come up. Awesome. I hate it when I knock on the door and I don't get an answer. Open up the door. Shout what I'm there to do. And there's some fucker asleep. Oh, I didn't know you were coming. But that was my day all day today. How was yours, man?
I don't like talking about work as much after I'm off work.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
No, you know, it can be different, man. I get some crazy stories, and I deal with some crazy people. The places that I go, I don't go to the craziest places that I used to go. But anyways, if you want to get off the work topic and then go back to the quitting smoking topic, it was a thing we were talking about before we got into this. You made a pretty good joke about it. I was like, man, you stop smoking for like 2 or 3 days, and you're like, your senses start coming back to you, your sense of taste, your sense of smell. And I was like, man, I could smell somebody smoking a cigarette like 3 blocks down. I feel like Wolverine. What'd you say? What'd you say, dude?
I can't remember.
Oh shit! I was like, it's like you were mentioning. We were talking about Wolverine smoking cigars, and it was like, imagine how much better your sense of smell could be if you didn't smoke cigars, Wolverine. And then you were like, what? You've been talking to fucking Sabretooth? Sorry, folks. Had some technical difficulties.
Bowel movements.
Yes. Apparently, I was motor mouthing too quickly.
It was pretty fast.
Yep. I have a habit of doing that, folks.
It's like, oh, wait.
I had, and without getting into another story, I have some customers that typically tend to be of the elderly variety where I make this complaint and it's like they're unstoppable. They go from subject to subject to subject, as I have just done, and you cannot get a word in edgewise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Jimmy the floor for just a moment. What do you want to talk about, man?
You want to talk about life?
Life. What in particular?
Reality.
Well, now, if you want me to go on,
Wait a minute. Never mind.
Well,
We're posting this on YouTube, right?
of course.
Oh, well.
Never mind.
Oh.
But you don't want it to be immediately demonetized, which we're not getting paid any money anyway.
No, what's that?
It's kind of funny because, we have people who are around us who hear the weird shit that we say that we do not put on a recording.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's the thing. Those are the people who kind of spurred us on, like, hey, you guys should put your conversation out, just fling it out into the internet. We probably picked the wrong digital venue, I guess, if you wanted to give it a word.
No, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure YouTube is the greatest. If you want to make money, oh man, what do you want to do? What do you want to start doing? You want to start making some YouTube shorts on makeup tutorials, or
we'll make 1 million top 10 lists.
Fuck yeah. Hey, that's the way to go about it, man.
Hey man, I got my own list.
You wanna suck on what is it? Wojcicki's tit? Yeah, well, why not?
Titties.
I'll tell you what. I'll start it up. Fuck. Damn it. I don't have the book with me. But I just recently fished a book from the that recent house fire. It's actually a pretty cool book. Damn it. All right. Hey, talk for I don't know, 3.5 seconds, and then I'll find this book and I'll give you the title of it. It's a really cool book about foraging.
Yeah, I saw that book you had about foraging for foods and stuff like that.
Hold on just 1 second.
I want to forage for mushrooms.
Hold on just 1 minute.
They're delicious. They're supposed to be pretty good for you. They look pretty cool. It's good for the mind. Ryan's coming back with his book. He's making a dive. He's coming for the chair. He sinks back in. He's got the headphones.
This was a book that my sister got me for a couple of Christmases ago. Southeast Foraging. It's pretty cool. Hey man, you want to get into a serious hey man, we're in the end times, man, homesteading book. It's pretty cool.
Is it just food, or does it get into like medicinal herbs and stuff like that too?
Yeah, dude. It's weird, man. Man, I'd have to look up chapters and stuff on it. But to get back into my job, but not particularly my job, but I've seen these in other places. There's these trees that they plant around buildings because during the spring they have these awesome like white blooms, and then later during the season the flowers turn from white to pink, and then man, it's like these weird fucking like pink soccer ball gushy things, and I was like, they would fall on the ground, and they like the pollen from these trees like smelled really good, and I was like, I don't know, man, it smells too good. Usually when something is like it smells too good and it looks too good, it's probably like a fucking poison. But apparently in Virginia, this particular plant is like, hey man, yeah, you can eat these, but not enough people know about them.
What are they?
Man, I have to look in the book, man. But like, you know, people.
Is it a tart flavor? Well, I guess
Dude,
it probably
I've
is
never
when
even
they're
eaten
when they're
the
not
fucking
ripe
things,
enough.
man.
Oh.
I've never eaten them, but apparently these
I'll
trees,
eat me some pink.
dude. These trees, you know, they grow them because they look nice. They go, like I said, they go from white to pink, and then they grow these fucking awesome fucking fruits on them that, you know, don't smell too fucking awful when they fall from the trees and start to rot. But I had no idea that it was like an edible thing that you can eat.
I'd like to find out what it is. And find
Yeah, I
them
mean,
and eat them.
man, I didn't do any research before the podcast, but I'll tell you about some fruits that I do know about. Like pawpaw fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you ever had pawpaw? Literally P-A-W, pawpaw fruit. I was going kayaking down the North Anna. And like I'm sitting there kayaking, you know, just throwing a line, trying to catch fish. And like all of a sudden I was like, man, like, dude, we live out in fucking Bumpus. So it's not unreasonable to think that somebody would be fishing any amount of distance down a river, drinking beer, and just throwing their beer cans off onto the shore or bank.
Seen
of a
plenty of
river.
them there.
Yeah,
in
and it's
several
like,
spots.
yeah, and it's like, man, it smells like fucking like beer out here. And like I'm getting further and further downriver, and I'm like, there's no beer cans out here. What is this? And I you know, as I'm going downriver, I'm seeing these like heavy branches, you know, like weighed down. I'm like, what's weighing down these branches? I look down, I was like, man, this is weird fruits, man. And then, you know, I take a couple, throw them in my cooler. I was like, you know what? I'll do some research. It's pawpaw fruit. Dude,
Pretty good.
man, it's like a banana pudding.
Man, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, dude, it's like these fruits that are like the size of pears. You cut them in half, and the seeds inside of them are they're really big seeds, so they're easy to eat around. But man, you cut one of these fruits in half when they're ripe, and it's like a banana custard. Yeah, dude, nobody. I've never heard anybody say like, "Hey, man, you ever had some pawpaw fruit?" You don't hear about that. The only people you hear about it from are other people, like other river people. But yeah, it's.
I mean, do you know if they're easily contaminated because of the environment?
Well, that's the thing.
They grow near water or by water.
That's the thing, man. This particular fruit only grows near like rivers. So yeah, there are some risks involved when you try and forage like wild fruits and vegetables. So like there's wild asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit grows like near roadsides all the time. And if you can,
That sounds delicious.
well, it sounds delicious. But if you're trying to pick wild asparagus on the side of Route 1.
Oh no, fuck that.
Yeah, that's been getting like exhaust blown into it for like, for like 3 months. No, you don't want to do that. But the pawpaw fruit only grows along rivers. And typically, you're not going to, most rivers around here, they've got bridges going over them. So it's a pretty safe bet that whatever you see growing in the trees, growing along riversides, it's safe. But yeah, it's a weird world to get into. And not to sound like too like mountain manish, because literally the only wild plants I've cultivated have been like pawpaw fruit. I never tried those pink fruits that I see growing, like that they have as like ornamental trees.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, not too many people are like just like blowing like dump truck exhaust near these fruit trees. But yeah, dude, there's so many things in this book. Southeast foraging 120 wild and flavorful edibles from angelica to wild plums.
Wild plums sounds really fucking good. I love me some plums.
No, dude, I've had wild plums. Those are good. Typically, I will find those like they're just dude, a lot of the
What about mulberries? Are those in there?
You know what? If it grows in Virginia, this book's got it. But yeah, wild asparagus, plums, of course, wild onions, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Remember when we were kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't.
Onion grass or whatever.
Yeah. No. You can't eat that. It'll make you sick.
Bullshit.
Well, the thing is that
Clean that shit up and chop it up.
No, certain things can make you sick.
Yeah.
And this book tells you how to wash all the fucking natural toxins that just appear in these plants, regardless of human intervention. But it's an awesome book. You want to go into this? Do you want to go into the homesteading thing?
I mean, I'll go there, but you're bringing up with that. But I mean, essentially, what you're saying is wash it first. I mean, are you going to go and take a shit and then like not wash your hands and stick your hands into a bag of popcorn?
No. For instance, there are some plants where something like 90% of the plant is like poisonous. Like dandelions, right? You go into some of these like Whole Food stores and you see like dandelion tea. Ooh, fancy. Yeah. You know what they did? They took all the poisonous stuff. They cut it away. Anything that could be used is like boiled and seeped, and they take all the poison stuff out of it. They dry it out. They package it in a little silk baggie, and they're like, hey, let's sell this to the fucking hipsters out there, and then
probably break it down into a syrup.
But it's a very interesting book. It's interesting. And you had a book yourself that was specifically about like mushrooms and stuff.
Oh,
you got to be careful about
Mushroom
the mushrooms,
Hunter.
man. It was, dude, that was an interesting book because I was like, oh man, let's see if there's anything in this book that's like no brainer, right? Like no brainer. Like, hey, if you find this mushroom, it's a delicious thing that you could add to a salad or blah, blah, blah. No. Yeah, I'm sorry. And this book is just like that too. But what was it? Morels.
Morel mushrooms, and they'd make it. They're apparently expensive as fuck, but they're supposed to be awesome.
Yeah, golden morels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was looking at your book, I was like, okay, there's golden morels. Awesome. Oh, man, they're so easily identifiable. And then you start to read the book, you flip the page, and then the next page is like, yeah, but be careful of the black morels. they'll kill you.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, God damn, man, I wish.
they're marked for death.
And what was it? Chicken of the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's
a
another
cool
edible
one. That was it's like, man, that seems like it's so easily identifiable. Even if you were a novice mushroom picker, you could see something like, oh man, that is Chicken of the Woods. And for the folks at home, the reason why it's called Chicken of the Woods is because it has a taste and texture similar to chicken. You can season it, you can marinate it, and you can add it to stuff where if you are, let's say, a vegan, you could take Chicken of the Woods, you could add it to a vegan meal, and you could get a taste of chicken even though you have, foregone, I won't say forsaken, foregone chicken.
I say it goes good with chicken. Then probably.
And it was a funny thing because what was it? And you're more up to date on mushrooms than me. But what's the one that simulates the taste and texture of beef? Is it? It's not shiitake, is it? Or is it?
I mean, it might. I don't know. Some people say it's like that. Shiitakes are delicious. I love shiitake mushrooms. Some people say portobello is like that. There are some people that say portobello. I mean, any mushroom in general is a substitute for meat, and it's not.
And it seems like the most awesome thing. Like, okay, let's say you don't want to eat meat, and this maybe.
I mean, that's like saying, oh, hell with that steak. I have this giant portobello mushroom cap.
Portobello, that's what it was, man. Portobello.
No, it ain't the same thing. You know what?
No,
I want that big portobello cap with my fucking steak.
You know what? I know it's not I know it's not a substitute, but let's say you lived your whole life eating ground beef. And then for some reason throughout your life, you decided, I don't want to name a reason.
I mean, I get it. It seems more filling, but I think if anything, mushrooms and meat go good together. Well, there are people that say that. No.
Well, that was a funny thing. Moving in with you, you were always conscious about that. Adding mushrooms to some of your recipes, and the main thing for me is that the way that I was introduced to mushrooms is probably the wrong way. They were all canned or jarred, and you know what? As a way of preserving mushrooms, excellent. But when you're introduced to it as a kid, canned mushrooms, especially growing up where we grew up, you know what? If somebody cut up some fresh mushrooms and threw them on a pizza like you had done in the past, it's delicious. But to have like canned mushrooms, the same thing with jalapenos. I can't stand canned jalapenos. I can't stand canned mushrooms.
To be honest with you, I never knew they canned jalapenos.
What?
It sounds gross.
Yeah, no, yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Dude. Okay, here's a perfect example. Burger King. Burger King's on the decline. Man, we're getting back into a food podcast again. But Burger King was in the decline, and then like every time, like what was it? I think they did it for Indiana Jones. They did it for the new Star Wars movies. It was like every time they made like an awesome movie, they had like this like promotional Whopper. It's like, oh man, a Whopper. Oh man, the Indiana Jones Whopper. Oh man, what do they got on it? Oh, pepper jack cheese, check. Onion straws, check. Some weird spicy mayonnaise, which for white people is like the greatest thing in the world. Check. And they're like, and then, well, not they, but me personally, it's like jalapenos. And then you look at it and you see this like, I don't know. It's like a jalapeno in decline. And I'm not expecting Burger King to be chopping up fresh jalapenos, but ugh, I can't do it, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do the canned mushrooms, canned jalapenos, canned onions.
I mean, I don't mind. The canned mushrooms don't bother me, but if I use them, I'm usually cooking them and there's getting seasoned poured on them before I eat them.
Dude,
So-
when you like, it seemed like every single time, like you were making like lasagna or spaghetti or like a fish dish, and you're like, "Hey, man, I'm making this delicious thing. I'm gonna put something awful in it. You know, is it cool for you?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It's coming in a can?" I'm like, no, man. Just got like a styrofoam container of Baby Bells, man. Fuck yeah.
Dude, it's weird. I have to warn people because mushrooms, I forget. I love eating mushrooms with my food. Mushrooms with fish and lasagna on pizza. See, saute them. Put them with some onions and shit. Mushrooms are fucking delicious. But, anything can be cooked shitty, though, too. you know?
And you know what? And another thing that you're doing, Dale, is when it comes to stuff like mushrooms, especially mushrooms, we're going back to what this book has in it, or what your book has in it. You know, you wanna be like a professional, but I keep feeling like I have this lack of confidence in myself. Like, what was it? David Townsend did that video on morels. Was it Gold of the Forest? Is that what he called it?
Yeah. Where he had his little fire and his little pan and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that
But
guy,
you sit
you could
there
have a bad day and put that dude on fucking
Exactly.
YouTube,
But-
man. He'll
but-
make you feel good.
But you go out into the woods. You go out into the woods and you're like, man, this looks like a morel. But is it a morel or is it a black morel?
Hey, man, sometimes you got to roll the dice.
No, you do not.
The fuck? Yes, you do.
Telling our listeners to just roll the dice on mushrooms. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll roll the dice on wild asparagus.
Tumbling dice, motherfucker. Bring it, shit.
You're gonna roll a nat 1.
You're in luck. It came out of cow shit. You know it's going to be good.
But no, but no, it's funny because there was this book that fell into my lap. I had it for quite a while, and I had it as a bit of a companion piece to what would seem like a complete contradictory book. Actually, he made 2. I think I got his later book. Cody Lundin? Do you know who that is?
No.
Cody Lundin. Well, and once again, I was never even a real big watcher of this particular show, but they did this show called Dual Survivor, where they had Cody Lundin and Dave Canterbury. There was a bit of a controversy involving the show because Dave Canterbury, I think he claimed that he was special forces or something. I can't remember what
Canterbury. Who's he a descendant of?
I don't know.
You ever read the Canterbury Tales?
No, but I want to. The Canterbury Tales, and then
Shit's-
almost. Really?
It's weird and fucked up. I remember reading some of that shit in high school. Sorry.
No.
But yeah, Canterbury kind of stands out. He's British.
No. He was an American guy.
Oh,
And this dude
they
was
got away.
Dude, this guy was fucking bonkers out there to certain people. But if you were a homesteader, dude was you sit there and you're like, yeah, man, that makes sense. He was one of those guys who would be man, fuck going out there with a 22 and killing, whatever you can kill with a 22, man. I go out there with a have a heart trap. I catch a possum. You know what that is, man? That's an MRE, man. You just feed it. Because have a heart traps catch animals without killing them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just, if you needed
Is that the type of trap I have?
yes.
Yeah.
That
okay.
was the type of
Nice.
trap you were trying to catch fox in, and then immediately kill them because we live in a consumer culture. But David Canterbury would have been like, fuck that, man. Why don't you just keep feeding it until you like need something to eat, and then you kill it and skin it, and you could have like fucking the fox that's eating up all your chickens. You know, yeah. This dude was fucking like bananas, man. But
you ever catch a cat in one of those?
yes, many times.
Were you scared to let it out? I know I was. I thought that motherfucker was gonna fucking do a U-turn and cling to my face.
What I did was doing the kind of work that I do. I had a customer who had they had some animal that was causing harm to their livestock. They thought it was a possum. They thought it may have been a possum or raccoon or whatever. And they kept catching this cat. Now, I show up to their house. There's a have-a-heart trap out in the fucking sun, just out in the open. And it had caught a cat. Now, the problem with catching a cat in my line of work is that, okay, is this a feral cat? Or is this a neighborhood cat? I don't want to kill a neighborhood cat. I don't want to kill even a feral cat. So,
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess to a point. But do you ever look to see if the ear is snipped just to see if it's been handled?
Yes. Yeah, no. Since, once again, this is one of those things where me in my profession, I don't know certain things, but then you learn certain things. And yeah, if you see a cat with its ear snipped, you know that this cat has not only been caught and released, it's been caught and released by the SPCA or whatever. It's been sterilized and they clip
submitted.
Yeah, they they clip its ears so that you know that whatever this cat is, whether it's a female cat or a male cat,
it's been taken care of.
It's been spayed and neutered, and you don't need to worry about it. But
they can still have an ass in it. That
is.
Cat's a cat, dude.
No, well, you know what I've never worried about in my profession. I've never opened up a chain link fence and worried about a cat jumping my ass and then going for my throat. I have had to deal with several times people, and once again, usually they're pretty. I don't want to say chill about it because the dog that they have is like it's there for a reason. Like, beware of dog. Whenever you see a beware of dog sign, it's like I'll open up the gate and I'll be like, before I even open up the gate, I'll walk up to him and like, and if I don't hear anything, oh man, cool. The dog is wherever it is and it can't kill me. But there's been times where, man, I've walked up to people's houses and I've seen like a German Shepherd. And he's got his like tongue wag and he's like, looks like happy as shit. The second my face goes over the fence, turns into fucking yes, immediately teeth bared, fucking vicious.
Get that
fucking
like we're like, hey man, breathe.
Be
cool, bitch.
You know what I call that? I call that, hey, I get to go home early. Because I'm not fucking with that.
And if the sign's there too, that whatever he or she is doing their job, I guess.
You know what's
to
funny?
A point because it went from you have the barrier, I guess.
Yeah,
the fence, and it's like
there's like a wooden fence. It's usually anywhere from 5 to 6 feet tall,
and then you step through the barrel and
No, there have been times where I've had to call my customer, and they'll be like, "Oh man, let me call my neighbor," and then the neighbor will come over, and that dog will be vicious. To me. No, vicious to me. And then the second the neighbor comes walking into the yard, oh man, it's like they turn into a teddy bear. If I walked beyond that border while the neighbor was still trying to get the dog away, They go from teddy bear. They go right back from teddy bear to like I'm gonna rip your throat out, and it's cool. And that's one of the things I try to like train like new people on. Like, hey man, don't mess with the dog, man. You know, I have certain things like what was it?
Nah, man, you never know what's gonna happen. My mom was supposed. She was
love
supposed to
that
work her,
shit.
man. She's been bit by fucking dogs, and it's always the little fucking dogs.
Tell the folks at home about your mom's everyday carry for dogs, because that was fucking awesome.
What, the fucking spray?
Spray?
Oh no, that other thing she kept in the mail truck. That was with if a person tried to fuck with her.
Well,
it was a billy club with a fucking lead stick shoved down the middle of it. Even had like a little leather ring so you could wear it around your wrist. Spin that shit like a fucking British policeman.
Maybe she was just trying to let us off easy on what exactly that was going to be. But I have a feeling.
Oh no, she told me that's what it was for.
It's going to be the mace, and then it's going to be the lead.
She said she kept it under the seat of her car, and then she kept it under the seat of her mail truck, and then it went back underneath the seat of her car. Ah, yeah. You better fuck off. You don't want none of this here, laddie.
Walking around.
You get this club right up your ass.
Walking around like an Irish beat cap.
Yeah, fuck you and fuck your mother.
You know, isn't that funny? That
what life? No.
members of the United States Postal Service are more willing to deliver the mail than maybe some of our long flabby-armed, long arm of the law fighting crime. Dude, did I tell you about that shit, man? I rolled up on a military base. And once again, I'm pretty religious about putting my seatbelt on.
Mm-hmm.
This one particular time I didn't. And I rolled up into a military base. And as I drove through, it was funny because the week before, I had a dead inspection sticker. And the military base guard, she was like, "You got a dead inspection sticker." I was like, yeah, it's for a particular thing, man, I work for a company, and it's very, it takes a little bit longer to get the repairs made for what is on a dead inspection sticker. Got that dealt with. Man, I go rolling into the base next month, man. I'm on a clean inspection sticker. I feel pretty good. I completely forgot that I didn't have my seatbelt buckled up. I go into the military base. This dude, motherfucker's got to be like, I don't know, 112 years old. Man, I was very rude to this particular military police officer. Unintentionally. I drove up, and he was like, "You're going to have to buckle that seatbelt. That's a citable offense." Now, if he had ended the sentence there, I'd have been like, oh, sorry, sir, whatever. But then he had to add, we're real police officers, right? And then when he said that, I laughed in his face.
God damn, dude.
I laughed in his face.
Motherfuckers can give you fucking high price tickets.
I know. And it was bad. I was like, he's like, we're real police officers, right? Why did he have to say that? He didn't have to say that. No,
he didn't need to say that. He's a and fucking dick. He's looking for excitement.
I'm sitting there grabbing my seatbelt. I'm like, and then I clicked in my seatbelt. And then after that, I realized that what I was doing was fucking like wrong, like rude. And I was like, I'm sorry. And then I drove past him laughing.
Dude, they don't fuck around in some of the places. It's funny. Apparently, the dude at work where I'm at on this one base, he had some problems with his badge the other day.
His B-dibs.
And copped a fucking attitude inside the visitor center. And they said 5 or 6 fucking Peace came out of there and drug him out. His boss had to go some shit the next day. It turned into... It's like, oh, you're getting loud. They just...
Dude,
we're going to lock you the fuck up if you don't shut the fuck up.
Dude,
I mean, they didn't lock him up. They threw him out, ripped his shit in half, and then came after the company. It was like, God.
No. I didn't deal with that directly. I was going into branch security. I had all my stuff. I was ready to go. But a lot of these military bases, if the folks at home aren't aware of it, you know, these military bases, you could sit there and think like it's the most top secret military base. It could be the most well-known military base. Do you know who they have building the buildings on these bases? Folks at home? Regular people. Just me and you. And I went in there, and this dude was he was waiting in line to get his B-dibs, which is, you know, I don't know if this outs me, but that's the type of card we get. And they asked him about his driver's license. They asked, like, they only need 3 things: driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. This dude had 2 of the 3. I don't know which one he didn't have, but he's at the counter, and I can see this dude out the corner of my eye getting more and more aggressive, and he like flings his driver's license at the lady, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. And then he takes his hands and he slams them down on the counter. He's like, he's getting like more.
Did they swarm him?
Dude, this is the thing. He flung his license at the lady. Now, they have a big plastic, like, ballistic glass thing
She
up.
probably hit like a button
Dude,
or something.
he flung his license. She kept her cool. But the second he slammed his hands down on the counter, he realized he fucked up, because there's like 3 different people trying to give people their base clearance. And you just see like all 3 of them go like this. They put their hands under the counter. He realized he fucked up. He put his hands up in the air, and like he realized he fucked up like immediately, but it was too late. By the time his hands went from his waist to his ears, before they got over his head, there were like 5 military police officers in there. And it's like, nope, it's too late. And yeah, like you said, they drug his ass out. Like, nope, we're not dealing with this shit. And then like the entire time I'm dealing with like trying to get my base ID, after that bullshit happened, my hands are behind my back. I'm like, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Oh, what do you want me to do? You want me to put my fucking fingerprint on your fucking scanner machine? Oh, yep, certainly. Boop, 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 boop. You know, but it was, you know, they're regular people, man. They have protocols that they have to follow, but they are regular people. Like, I would sit there and have, dude, man, I don't want to.
They're regular people, but they also have extra power.
No, well, that was the thing, man.
So that regular person could still be fucked up.
No, dude, man, this guy, man, I would, because before they did the B-dib system, I would have to go there. Dude, I did a Subway sandwich shop on base. That's all I did. It took me longer.
Was that Quantico?
No.
Oh,
No, it wasn't Quantico.
it was at Camp Lejeune.
Yeah. I'm about to be a millionaire from the fucking lead or fucking asbestos or whatever they got on that fucking place. But no, there was a guy there, and his name was Robin. And I immediately, like, I saw this dude, and he was a very funny dude, because even, you know, I go to a lot of sensitive places, and then you expect these people to, like, toe the line, toe the line. Don't express your political beliefs. Don't do this. Don't do that. No. They do not care. They do not care. And this particular guy, his name was Robin. So I was like, Robin can probably find like 15 different ways to slit my throat. You know, he seemed like he was a badass. And it was, a boy named Sue, kind of a story, But every time I talked to him, I had a more in-depth conversation with a dude at the naval base that I was at about Metallica than I've had with regular people that I've met who were big fans of Metallica. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And it was like a 5 to 10 minute conversation while I'm waiting for my shit to come through. It was awesome.
Talking about Metallica?
Yeah, dude. Just a regular dude. Most of these people, they're regular people.
I mean, Metallica's pretty cool.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Metallica's pretty cool. But no, most of these people, they're regular people just trying to do their job. Now, their rules for their job are a little bit more strict and streamlined, one would think. But you've got that military red tape and yada yada yada. But once I got it done, I don't get to see my favorite fucking dude or my favorite fucking lady until 2026. It's kind of a bummer. Like, I almost want to just like roll into the security office and be like, "Hey, how's it going? Oh,
what's your business here, sir?"
Nothing. Want to talk about Master of Puppets with Robin? And it's like
classic album.
Comes elbowing people out of the way. Oh man, did you see him? I didn't see them in anything. Because unfortunately,
Orion's pretty cool.
What's that? Orion? Oh yeah, I like Orion. But no, it is an interesting thing because
I'm surprised he didn't drop the Disposable Heroes.
No, but what he did
Classic.
do, and this has nothing to do with Metallica, was he was very upset about what he called the People's Republic of Maryland.
Oh, with that piece of shit county, Montgomery County,
Dude,
Maryland, just banned gas leaf blowers.
Dude, this was...
You garbage county, you suck.
And dude, this was at the time where if you ran a business that had a parking lot, you had to pay extra taxes depending on how much square footage your parking lot took up, because that was square footage that wasn't going into the soil.
Such garbage.
Yeah. So it was very interesting to see
fuck that state,
a gentle person like that. But yeah, the regular people.
We're Maryland. We love crab cakes. Fuck you, Maryland. God, what a shit state, dude. Oh, we have Ocean City. Oh.
Have you had crab cakes?
Shit on a beach. I like crab cakes, but I fucking hate Maryland. Imagine how much you pay for we're Maryland. If you eat our crab cakes here, they have special powers because they're crab cakes from Maryland.
Look,
fuck Maryland.
Look,
fuck that state.
Look, there's only two people I know. And one of them is me, and the other person is sitting right across from me. It's seasonal. We got to go to Captain Billy's, man.
There's probably good food there. I've never heard of Captain Billy's. But you said Captain, so I'm thinking seafood.
It is exactly what it is. Hopefully, you know what? Captain Billy's isn't paying me anything to endorse their food. But what I will say is that perhaps if more people go there, it will be the way that I remembered it as a kid.
Where's the location?
Basically, you cross the bridge going from Virginia into Maryland. And it's right on the coast, dude. The peninsula, the Virginia, Maryland peninsula.
Are you talking? Which way are you talking? You talking out east, 301, like
Um,
Colonial Beach,
From Virginia
or no?
to Maryland, you take 301.
Okay, that part. It's a big
Yeah,
difference
basically,
going the other way.
dude,
All right.
you take 301 straight into Maryland.
All right, right
dude.
over that fucking bridge.
Fuck yeah, dude. Captain Billy's is not endorsing us to. They're not paying us any money. I just remember it being really good as a kid, and it got shittier. But perhaps if more people go there, they will get better.
Wait, it got shittier?
Yes, but dude, I mean, you know what?
Remember Captain D's?
Yeah. Captain D's, yeah, because it exists. It's like it's like the McDonald's of seafood.
What about Long John Silver?
Yeah, same thing. You know what? I challenge you to name me a cap. I challenge
Look,
you.
man, it ain't shitting on Long John Silver. Are you putting Captain D's and Long John Silver on the same?
I'm putting Captain D's, Long John Silver, Red Lobster, Captain Billy's.
Red Lobster kind of thinks it's
Exactly.
a little higher than it should.
Exactly. I'll tell you this. If you live in a landlocked state and there's a Red Lobster there and they try and sell you the catch of the day, you better be fucking drinking some Pepto-Bismol. That's all I'm saying. Because you ain't... How the hell are you going to get a catch of the day in a landlocked state? Yeah, no, you're not. But... No. Captain Billy's is good, but they're only as good as what they can get caught for them. They're right on that. They're right in the you get they're right in the Chesapeake. They're right in the Chesapeake. So yeah, I mean, you can get blue crab all day. That's fine. Awesome blue crab. Nobody's getting Alaskan snow crab legs anywhere except for Alaska and having them be delicious. They're not. You ever had
Dude, I'm
dude,
sorry.
you
Some
ever
of
had-
that stuff
you ever
with
had
crabs,
king-
I think it's overrated for the
Man,
price, man.
it's
It's delicious meat.
it's overrated for the price.
Dude, it's just like wings. I love wings, man. It's like, why does it cost this much?
Have you ever had
It's because it's trendy.
Dude, I bought king crab legs at a trip to Virginia Beach one time. It was okay, which it shouldn't have been.
Was it
okay.
filling enough?
No, that's the thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was okay for Virginia Beach. It was like, you know what, man? Oh man, these king crab legs. You know what? You shouldn't be able to get these anywhere else but where we were and McDonald's. We got to do that, man. We got to do that shit.
I do that shit.
Hells yeah, man. We can do it next weekend. You know how many people we'd piss off if we made fucking king crab legs for fucking D&D?
Specific person be pistol.
I don't know. Does Eric like king crab legs? Or crab legs in general? What
I
about
mean,
Taryn?
he probably does, but
Oh,
he
no.
bitched and brought up the mess of wings.
She's not going to eat 1 ounce of it.
What about lobster claws?
No. Oh, man. It is so awesome.
What?
Leslie not liking a lot. I did that on purpose.
I want some fucking seafood now.
I know, right?
I want to make it fucking salmon.
Let's go get some.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's
I could
only
go for some salmon.
Damn, I got no timepiece. Look, we can go right now. Go to Maryland. By the time we get to Maryland, we can catch some of the fresh cab crutchers. crab catchers, and they'll bring us in.
Ew, what part of Maryland you talking about going to?
Well, if you want blue crab, hey man, I gotta tell you, I've you ever done that?
Blue crab's good.
You ever done that, man? Go to like the Chesapeake Bay
And get crabs?
Yeah, no. get crabs. Throw some crab pots out. It's awesome, dude.
Dude, Will and his dad, because they had some property in Virginia out east.
Oh yeah,
and they threw the pots out there and they get crabs because his dad that's all he wanted to do. He wanted to get some water, property on the water and do some crabbing and shit.
A crab pot.
He'd tell me how they'd go out there and throw them out there and go back out and have a bunch of crabs and chill out.
A crab pot, a bunch of chicken livers, and 48 hours.
God damn.
That's all you need. The first 24, you take those chicken livers, you let them set out in the sun.
No, that's what they used. He was telling me that, man.
But you take those chicken livers, you let them set out in the sun for fucking 24 hours. Let them sit out there for a day. Then you throw those in the crab pot. Oh, man, they smell
now see,
fucking
and that's
awful.
where I'll admit defeat with certain things with crabs. Don't get the whole thing with the crabs, man. Don't like the process. I don't. But get together with some people, catch your own fucking crabs, and do it. To me, the experience I like the meat, but then the experience is even more worth it. I would totally do that shit.
Well, and there's a reason why, when you go and get a bushel out here on the East Coast, the reason why they sell you the fucking hush puppies is like, look, you're not going to get filled up on the bullshit that we're selling you. But no, it's eating crabs is a social. It's a social thing.
No, and I get it, and I was never a big fan of it. But to catch your own with some people, and you all have like a party and eat all the crabs, I would probably get into it more than just because of the
all right, man,
whole
all right.
process.
We're getting into winter time here, but we got plenty of time. We can get a crab pot we could probably get a crab pot on eBay. Dude, it's literally chicken wire in a box, shaped in a box. All right, that's what we're doing. We're gonna go crabbing next summer. It's awesome, dude.
I would do that,
dude. A big ass pot, can of Old Bay, of beer, a couple of cans of beer, and a fucking propane burner. Oh yeah, dude. Propane.
Oh, propane.
Country crab dancing you.
God damn it. You got crabs, Bobby?
No, and you know what? That's it was funny. There was a couple of times we went to this campground. I can't remember the campground. But we would go there, and there's a couple of different ways to go crabbing. Man, we're getting into a long ass conversation about this because I remember it from being a kid. Man, you can throw a fucking pot out there with some fucking rotten ass chicken livers, and then just wait like a day, and you'll have like fucking 14 crabs that get stuck in the trap. But one thing we used to do was tie like chicken legs. You go and get like chicken legs and chicken wings and whatever, and you tie them to like some nylon rope, and you throw them off the dock, and you gotta like lift them off the dock like real slow, and you see a fucking crab like eating that fucking salty fucking rotten chicken leg, and then you fucking scoop them up real quick. And basically what that was that so like little kids had something to do while you're doing the most important shit. But yeah, man, that shit was fun, man.
I want to go crabbing now.
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. I will not go crabbing with fucking chicken legs tied to nylon rope. I'm going out there with like 2 or 3 crab pots. I'm gonna go get me a inflatable raft and drive it out to a fucking buoy and throw a bunch of pots out by the buoy. Dude, no, people would do that, man. I used to work with a guy, and that was what he would do. He had a little boat with a little outboard motor, and he would drive it out to the buoys and drop his pots, his crab pots down by the buoys. And I can't remember what it was, but it was something like if you sold something like under 200 pounds, which is a lot of crab meat. But 200, dude, this dude was living on the Chesapeake every day during the spring and summer, man. He made enough money to carry his ass through the fall and winter. And then he would just, next spring and summer, he would be out there with crab pots, dropping them near the buoys. Like, hey, don't swim out this far. That's cool.
I mean, but how do we get, I mean, do we, we'll have to look into it. I mean, unless you know more about it, to be able to secure a spot to drop ours in there.
Dude, you go to a place that has docks, any place that has a dock, you don't need a license. You don't even need a freshwater or saltwater fishing license.
We'll have to pick Will's brain a little bit too, because he's done that a few times, especially with his dad. They probably got some of the equipment.
Dude, I'm telling you, you don't need a saltwater fishing license. You don't need a freshwater fishing license. As long as your creel limit is under like 200 pounds, which nobody who's camping on the Chesapeake is catching fucking under like 50 pounds, let alone 25 or 5. Yeah, you don't need a license to do that, man. You don't need a license to crab.
So you just go out there and camp out and put your shit in there.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude. We would pop a tent, get our campsite set up, throw a crab pot in at the dock.
Psychedelics.
Yeah, no, right?
Just kidding.
Yeah, put some chicken livers.
What's that in the water?
Put some chicken livers and some fucking psychedelic mushrooms out there. Just
Yeah.
put them right in the fucking pot.
They start glowing.